Mayor and City Council meeting, 6 p.m., Wednesday, May 12th, 2021, City Hall Complex. I call this meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Madam Clerk.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Okay. We have one speaker for call to the public.
Yes.
Yes, could you have Mr. Price come in, please? Mr. Price, to the podium, please. Good afternoon, Mr. Price.
Good afternoon.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, you go ahead and say whatever you need to say. You have 5 minutes.
5 minutes? Okay. I had sent you a letter requesting that I either be put on the agenda or the call to the public.
Do you want to put it on the agenda? It's not on the agenda today, your item.
Monday?
Your item is not on the agenda today.
No, so it must be called to the public. Okay.
Call to the public, okay.
Okay.
I think, excuse me, his item is going to be on the agenda in the June, or do you know when it's going to be? Do you know, John?
June? Yeah.
Your item's going to be in the June agenda anyway, but you can go ahead and speak and call to the public right now.
Okay. It just, we have a problem, our access road. According to the rezoning request by one of your councilmen and the Brunos, will cut off our road. And that's the only access we've had for 50 years. Could present a very dangerous situation. As you can see, we're on the elderly side. Mm-hmm. By the time you have your June meeting, I'll be just about to turn 85 years of age. And I would like, the planning and zoning director told me this has to be approved by the mayor and council or it can't be. So I'm requesting that you deny approval so that I'm safe to go up and down in case of a fire or anything like that. And it used to be there was a fire on that hill every year. So we won't survive. It's just a matter of life and death. I have 2 anesthesiologists who use my guest house whenever they're on call, which is not always, but when they're on call and they get called for an emergency, every second they have counts. To be delayed could be a life and death matter. We should have been on top of it earlier, and your P&Z director explained it to me. He was very clear. He was very polite. And that's why we requested to either be on the call to the public or on the agenda. Mm-hmm. And we had no idea until just now where things stood. The Hernandezes who gave me the easement in the first place no longer live in the state, so I'm sure they have no idea. And Febronio, whom you may have known as Pete,
Yes.
is blind. He's completely blind. So I think they moved back east with their daughters. The property's still in their name.
Okay.
So they're just trying to make life a little bit safer. And I don't know. Well, we have to ask for this again on the agenda on June the 2nd, or?
Well, on call to the public, basically we can't respond, but I can tell you that if it's on the agenda on June, yes, you can discuss it on the agenda, and at that time, then there's response from the council to your questions and with answers.
Real good. Then I'll be back in June
Okay, sir.
if somebody will remind me.
All right.
You know how old people are.
Okay, thank you very much,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Price.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Put your mask back.
I'll say hi. Thank you, Mr. Price.
Okay, number 4. Let me start off by reading this proclamation, something that Mrs. Robinson did not prepare. You did not prepare this proclamation. No, this is, siéntate. This is a proclamation, the 52nd Annual Professional Municipal Clerks Week. Whereas the office of the Professional Municipal Clerk, a time-honored and vital part of local government, exists throughout the world. Whereas the office of the Professional Municipal Clerk is the oldest among public servants. Whereas the office of the Professional Municipal Clerk provides the professional link between the citizens and local governing bodies and agencies of government at other levels. And whereas professional municipal clerks have pledged to be ever mindful of their neutrality and partiality, rendering equal service to all. Whereas the professional municipal clerk serves as the information center on functions of local government and community. Whereas professional municipal clerks continually strive to improve the administration of the affairs of the office of the professional municipal clerk through participation in education programs, seminars, workshops, and annual meetings of their state, county, and international professional organizations. Whereas it is most appropriate that we recognize the accomplishments of the office of the professional municipal clerk. Now, therefore, I, Arturo R. Garino, Mayor of Nogales, Arizona, do recognize the week of May 2nd. It says May 2nd, but actually we're going to extend it because we didn't have the meeting. The 8th as Professional Municipal Clerk Week, and further extend our appreciation to our Professional Municipal Clerk, Leticia Robinson, and to all professional municipal clerks for the vital services they perform, their explanatory dedication to the communities they present. And this is dated for the 12th day, and
Whoa.
Felicidades y gracias.
Thank you, Letty.
Leti,
Thank you, Leti.
Leti, esa estaba escondida para ti. La teníamos escondida. I know. And now we're going to have the other proclamations. Councilman Diaz will read the proclamation of the VFW Buddy Poppy proclamation. Mr. Diaz, please.
Thank you, Mayor. BFW Buddy Poppy Proclamation. Whereas the annual distribution of Buddy Poppies by the veterans of foreign wars of the United States has been officially recognized and endorsed by governmental leaders since 1922. And whereas BFW Buddy Poppies are assembled by disabled veterans, and the proceeds of this worthy fundraising campaign are used exclusively for the benefit of disabled and needy veterans and the widows and orphans of deceased veterans. And whereas the basic purpose of the annual distribution of Buddy Poppies by the veteran of foreign wars is eloquently reflected in the desire to honor the dead by helping the living. Now, therefore, I, Arturo R. Garino, Mayor of the City of Nogales, Arizona, do hereby urge the citizens of this community to recognize the merits of this cause by contributing generously to its support through your donations for body poppies on the day set aside for the distribution of these symbols of appreciation for the sacrifices of our honored dead. I urge all patriotic citizens to wear a body poppy as mute evidence of our gratitude to the men and women of this country who have risked their lives in defense of the freedoms which we continue to enjoy as American citizens. In witness whereof we have hereunto set my hand and caused to be affixed the great seal of the city of Nogales, County of Santa Cruz, Arizona, Arturo R. Garino, Mayor, done at City Hall in Nogales, Arizona on the 12th day of May in the year of our Lord 2021, and of the independence of the United States of America, the 245. Attest, Leticia Robinson, City Clerk.
Thank you very much, President.
Thank you.
Now I'm going to read the proclamation May 25th as National Missing Children's Day. Whereas according to the U.S. Department of Justice, in 1 year there were an estimated nearly 800,000 children missing, and whereas on average there is an estimated average of 2,200 children reported missing to law enforcement agents daily, and whereas 58,200 of these children are victims of non-family abductions, and more than 200,000 are the victims of family abductions. And whereas the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children exists as a resource to help prevent child abduction and sexual exploitation, help find missing children, and assist victims of child abduction and sexual exploitation, their families, and the professionals who serve them. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children recovery rate has grown from 62% in 1990 to 96% of domestically missing children, but too many children still remain missing. Whereas this special day is a time to remember those children who are missing and give hope to their families. Now, therefore, I, Arturo Garino, in partnership with the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children and its collaborative organizations, the City of Nogales proclaims May 25th as National Missing Children's Day. Therefore, the City of Nogales urges the participation of local government, law enforcement, schools, community-based organizations, and families in the protection and education of all individuals about child abduction and sexual exploitation, appropriated protective measures, and ways to respond and seek help from law enforcement, social services, and the National Centers for Missing and Exploited Children. Therefore, the City of Nogales, Arizona, encourage all individuals to take 25 to help, actually it's 25 minutes, to help children stay safe. And it used to be called Take 25, but they changed it. Therefore, the City of Nogales, Arizona, that May 25th, 2021 is set aside as National Missing Children's Day as part of the children's continuing effort to prevent the abduction and sexual exploitation of children. Thank you very much. Okay, item number 5, discussion items. Hey, discussion and possible action on the appointment of Deputy City Manager as Acting City Manager until the completion of recruitment process by CPS Recruitment. I make a motion to appoint John Kissinger, the Deputy City Manager, as Acting City Manager after Mr. Thompson's time's up. I guess, when is it? June?
First week of June, June 2nd, June 3rd.
First week of June.
Second.
Second, okay. Is there any discussion?
Mayor,
Yes, go ahead.
just one thing on here. Can we add that not to exceed the 6 months as stated by the city charter?
Well, it's not on the city charter, actually, is it?
Yeah, the 6 months. is-
6 months.
It's
Yeah,
understood.
it's understood. You can't go past that. Yes.
Yeah, but it's just a CPS recruitment, hopefully it won't go.
No, that, hopefully that won't go the past 2 months, hopefully. Yeah, perfect.
And Mayor,
Go ahead.
can we just get an explanation from legal that we are in good terms with doing this process of putting John back? Because I thought back in before Mr. Thompson came in was that John could not follow. I know it was cannot do continuous, but I thought it was that we needed to have a permanent before John could return. Can legal give us a description or a good legal advice that we're doing the right thing?
Mr. Mayor?
Go ahead.
My advice is, as consistent with I had said previously, that it is the better option to go ahead and have someone, even for a very brief time, be a permanent city manager, but he's clearly the right person, and he has the position as deputy city manager. He's been acting city manager previously, a year ago. And earlier this year, he had served 6 months. So there's some question about that. It hasn't been, challenged in court. But this is something that's not something that I would say is clearly violating the city charter.
It is not violating the city charter.
I'm not saying it could be interpreted as that. The limitation is 6 months. John Kissinger has served 6 months before Mr. Thompson. And so the question is, can you go back and forth before an appointment of a city manager? And I don't think it's quite clear, but it's for a very short period of time, and it's unlikely that any, court proceeding could occur before this appointment would just expire in the process of hiring a permanent city manager.
But we've got half a month till that time comes. Can you give us a clarification by then?
I'm sorry?
Can you give us for sure we're not violating our...
The attorneys, we tend not to give a short, but
you represent us,
right,
and you need to give us the right advice.
right.
That we're not breaking the charter, we're not breaking the rules, we're not breaking the law. I don't want to be here 6 months later saying we did the wrong thing.
Right. Well, it's not a clear violation. I think you can proceed, and my advice is that you can proceed with this motion.
Mr. Massey,
Yes,
is
sir.
Mr. Kissinger the deputy city manager?
He is.
What is his duties?
As pretty much as directed by the city manager, and to
And if
fill
the
in,
city manager is no longer here?
he has to do his best to fill in for the city manager.
Okay. According to section 76 on the charter, basically, kind of says that.
Yes.
Kind of says that that's the duties and that we can go in that direction. So if there's nothing in writing that says that we cannot do it, why would we need an opinion?
Right. Anyways, I gave you the best opinion I can give you, Mayor.
Okay, I call for the question. Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Letty, roll call, please.
Starting with
Aye.
Nay,
Mr.
Aye.
I'm sorry.
Aye.
Mr. Bonillas,
Aye.
Mrs. Lopez,
Yes.
Mr. Diaz,
Aye.
Mr. Montiel.
Okay.
Thank you very much, members of the council. B,
Mayor?
yes? On what? We already voted on it. Yes,
Oh, okay, yeah,
we voted on it. I'm sorry.
that's okay.
B, discussion, direction, and possible action in using the trolley as a mobile library. I put this on the agenda because prior to the passing, actually back in 2019, Mary Darling Sr. and I had sat down about 2 or 3 times on the use of the trolley. And she said that one of the uses that she wishes, that could be one of the uses, the trolley can be used for a lot of things, that it could be used as a mobile library to take books to neighborhoods and volunteers. And she was one of the persons that was going to be volunteering to help the children read and to pick out books and also to get their library cards. And so I told her that that we were going to be discussing this on the council, but then we got hit with the COVID and we basically stepped away from it. And this is a commitment I had with Mrs. Darling about this. And I asked the members of the council and I asked staff to see if it's possible, Mr. Thompson, that this could be done so that, probably during the school year, when their kids are at school, it's probably impossible. But some of the kids are not in school right now, and they could probably do it, or maybe Saturdays or holidays and stuff like that, that we could arrange to use the trolley for that. And I think it'd be a good thing to do education-wise for the kids, and also to take the trolley around town and use it. And that, like I said, that's one of the uses of the trolley. So I'm asking the members of the council to let's make this possible in memory of Mrs. Mary Darlene Sr. And I think it's a good memory from hers. It's a great idea that she had, and I think it's something that in partnership with the library that we can really make this work for the kids and for the community too. Mr. Thompson, okay?
Absolutely, Mayor. Absolutely. Right now, the trolley's a little bit blue under the gills, but we'll get her.
Yes. But you have to sit down with the director of the library and see how it can happen. And I know I saw her in the back. And also how we could schedule something with employees and then maybe get a team together so that we can create a partnership and volunteers, community volunteers to help with this. I need a motion before we go any further.
I make
Yes.
that motion.
Yes. You second it, Lisa? It's a motion by Councilman Diaz and second by Councilmember Montiel. Yes, there was a discussion. Go ahead.
Mayor, I know there's high school kids right now looking for hours, scholarship kids that are looking
Great.
for hours.
That's good.
That'd be an excellent opportunity for them.
Yeah, we can go ahead, Councilman.
Left out of the discussion.
Yes, you're in discussion. No. Yes, go ahead.
Hopefully it could involve the Nogales school district.
Yeah.
It would be a good idea to involve the kids.
Yeah. All we would need is probably a driver.
So,
That's it.
if I may, Mayor, members
Yes,
of
go
the
ahead.
council, I know our director, Ms. Lopez, has been working with our 5th grade classes, ¿verdad? To get all the kids in 5th grade a library card. This was also a request from Mary Darling Sr. and Mary Darling Jr. has been very adamant about continuing that. And I think we went over a huge hurdle by getting those cards to Challenger School.
Yes, working on LinkedIn right now.
So we've addressed 2 out of the 5 elementary. So we're there. We're rocking and rolling.
Good.
Rocking and rolling.
Let's get a document written up, of what it's for in memory of Mrs. Mary Darling Sr. and the education, angle to it, plus the trolley on this. Okay, Mr. Massey, would that be hard to do? No, just a simple document.
Sure.
Yeah. Yes,
Mayor?
yes, go ahead.
Since the library is also a part of the Santa Cruz County, is this going to be available to all the county or just the city of Nogales?
Wow, let's see if we could extend it to the county. I don't know, is a trolley capable to go in the county? I don't know.
Well, I'm
Mayor,
not saying that you.
They can come to the city.
They can come.
Oh, yeah,
with the
yeah,
trolleys.
okay,
of
yeah.
course.
I don't see why not. Yeah, there's no
So
problem.
the trolley is not in the world's best condition. We've had our issues with it, so right now we're trying to get the power steering pump working on it. So once we get that going, we'll know how she's doing. I keep referring to her.
You know, a scheduling process would be good on that document, a scheduling process where we can schedule it to be in certain neighborhoods or certain parks so that children can go there. And then this will help out the library too, to get the kids involved and to be able to get their library cards and get them, involved with reading, and so that overall it'll be a good thing to do.
Mayor, and just
Yes.
one more thing, I'm sure there's going to be some liability, like concerns that are going to be.
They're not going to
written
be
up and-
driving, and the children
No.
will not be driving in it.
Well-
They'll show up to the trolley.
Okay, well, all right.
Yeah, there's no liability on that.
Okay, just raising
No.
the issue.
We have
Yeah.
excellent liability.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, because
So it-
kids are kids, they get on and.
Yeah, no, what they'll do is, the plan was, when we spoke, Mary Dottie and I, is to just take the trolley to an area in Monte Carlo, like the Canchas or the park on Bafford, and park it there for, X amount of hours, and kids show up from the neighborhood, walk over there, get their books and read, and if they need, somebody to help them read, they can be there with their parents if they want to, whatever, and that was the whole thing, not to get them in the bus or the trolley and then ride around to use it. So, it's just a mobile library that goes to your neighborhood and then stays there for a few hours. Okay? All right. Do we have a motion? Second, first, second, third? Okay, perfect. All right, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, C, discussion of status and time constraints on current interim city manager position and direction to replace the present city manager when time limit is up as per city charter. Ms. Montiel, you had wanted that item.
Yeah, I put that on the agenda for a couple of reasons. First of all, I wanted to get a status report on the time constraints, as it's written there, on the current interim city manager, and also the direction the city was going to take. So obviously, we appointed Mr. Kissinger as acting city manager. One of the things that I would like to see in the next 6 months, the time that he's here, as acting city manager, is to work on an academic, I'm thinking academic here, economic development plan. I've asked Mr. Kissinger if there is a plan in place, and he did say that there isn't a plan in place, a plan that.
You're off the agenda item.
Am I?
Yes.
Yeah.
Has
Okay.
nothing to do with
So we
economic
can talk
development.
about.
It's basically, you're talking about the time and the
time
direction to
constraints?
replace them, yeah.
Okay. Well, I was just trying to address some of the issues that we can address the next few months that he will be acting city manager.
We can do, well, you can call or go to the office or whatever, speak with the acting city manager, but you're
So
off
I'll put it on the
item right
agenda
now.
for future
It's,
item.
The agenda has nothing to do
For-
with that.
okay.
With what they have to do. Yes. Anybody else? Okay. We don't take this anywhere. Okay, D, discussion, direction, and possible action on Bird Dockless Electric Micro-Mobility Vehicle. Mr. Thompson.
Mayor, members of the council, we were in a nice conversation with Bird Dockless e-scooters. I'm sure we've all seen them downtown Tucson, downtown districts throughout the state, other states as well. So Nogales has caught their attention, and they're wanting to try to set up shop. They're committing to at least a 90-day trial period to figure out if this is something that Bird would thrive in Nogales. Who are we to say no to entrepreneurs or other businesses coming into town. However, before we get to that goal, they want to do a little bit of a study, see how the dynamics of our border works, how the use they would get out of these e-scooters. So we're still in the workings behind it. However, the rep from Bird e-scooters asked John and I to bring this forward to council and just get a little bit of an idea from council if this is something that we would be inclined to look into. There would be no cost to the city. We may have to create some ordinances as to the use of those, but that's once Bird gets their green light in saying that Nogales would be an environment for them to thrive in. So that's where we're at with that. There's no commitment from us, no commitment from them at this point. We're in exploring stages. And if we get to that point, it'd be a 90-day trial, and then we'll figure it out after that. There's a lot of questions.
At this point, in reference, if they accepted or we accepted with them, we would having a contract with them, or would
It would have nothing to do with the city.
no expenditures, no money, no nothing.
Absolutely
But
nothing.
they would be using our sidewalks.
Correct.
Okay. That's where they would locate the because they have chargers on those things too.
So from what I've seen in, at least in the Tucson district, downtown district, they have somebody picking those up on a daily basis, taking them off-site, charging it, and then
Oh,
replacing
okay.
them. So we wouldn't have fixtures, not like the bicycles we
Yes.
explored a couple years ago. So this is just, you pick it up, scan it with your app, boom, you're out the door. And once those send the signal saying they need to get recharged, they have somebody comes in, takes them up, takes them out to charge, and then replaces them.
So basically, where the charge runs out, that's the end of your ride?
That's the end of your ride. That's the bad thing about it.
Okay. All right, so what are you going to do with this? You're going to let them come back to you or do you expect something from us right now?
Right now, we're just trying to see if council was inclined to venture down this, see if there's any concerns our community would have on these little scooters around town. They're pretty cool. I've had the opportunity to ride around in a couple of them. They're fun. But, down here, we sometimes have a lack of transportation. This could be a Band-Aid for that or in addition to our lack in transportation. But again, we're in exploratory talks right now.
And I guess they're liable for everything. If
Absolutely.
you fall off the thing and,
Absolutely.
okay. Because we have a bumpy sidewalk.
That would be up to the ordinances rewrite, and I would be inclined to say keep it on the street. Treat it like a bicycle.
Or the pothole on the street.
Mayor.
No, I'm just joking. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to ask the same question. Is there any license involved and do we need to fix sidewalks in Nogales?
Those are very good questions, very good things we need to look at on the liability side. At this point, I think we're more inclined to get a commitment from Bert to see if they actually would thrive or it'd be a good idea in Nogales. There's a lot of logistical questions behind it. We're so close to the border, although they do operate in Mexico, further south, of course, not in Nogales, Sonora. So there's a lot of little logistical things that we would have to look at and assist them to see if it's actually a viable, business in Nogales. We would have to look at sidewalks. We would have to look at our streets. We would have to create ordinances, a lot of things. Typically, any ordinances that come up marry those from bicycles. It's really similar. It's very similar concept to riding a bike. So those are just little things we need to look at.
And will they take care of the security, if they start disappearing?
That's totally their responsibility. We wouldn't assume anything.
Robert, Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
this is John. So we need to call Bird back tomorrow after this meeting. Bird was basically letting us know that they're exploring different municipalities to provide this service. They know there's a lot of logistics to work out and stuff, but they also were very adamant that if the mayor and council was not interested in them moving forward to engage in a conversation, to come down and look at it, to do a market study, to, just look at it, there's there's no guarantee of nothing, there's no commitment on the city part, nor commitment on their part to come in. But they were adamant saying, John and Robert were on the phone with them. They said if mayor and council is opposed to us having this type of transportation in their city, then we'll move on to a different city because they want it to be a good working partnership.
Good, John, thank you. Yes, go ahead, Councilman.
John,
So we really need to get some real clear direction tonight from you all, whether you want us to, let them know, yes, we're interested and we'd like to talk more, or not.
John,
Go ahead, Councilman.
John, a question. Have you asked them if they've tried it out in other cities, small cities like the size of Nogales, and if they've been successful?
Yeah, currently, I think they have in Yuma, they said, Robert?
Yeah, Yuma.
Yuma, other cities, and they're exploring other cities. They're expanding right now, Hector, and that's what they're doing. They're trying to find cities that will be a good fit. They would love to come into the city of Nogales and do a market study to see what it looks like. They're very interested in Nogales because of the cross-border type stuff. We know there's going to be challenges, but again, like I said, they don't want to waste their time or our time if it's not something that the mayor and council might not be inclined to wanting.
I don't see why we shouldn't explore it. We should give them an opportunity.
I think it's a good idea, but is there going to be an issue with the state routes?
I'm not sure there's issues, Hector. We really haven't really looked at it that closely yet. We'll go down that road, but I can tell you that this type of electrical transportation is within cities inside the state of Arizona already as we speak.
All right. Thank you.
John, they're used only on sidewalks.
No, I think they're used both on sidewalks in the street, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah.
I personally,
They don't go on the road.
Up to the younger guys like Robert, he can probably tell you more about how these things are used. I would be maybe a little afraid to use them.
So
Or maybe Maria can tell us if they're in the general plan.
I'm not the young one.
Yes, Robert.
I don't have that particular item in the general plan that I recall, but a lot of cities are using those services. Tucson has it in downtown,
Yes.
and it's very popular. And it's funny to see that it's not only the younger people, different ages are using it,
Yeah.
because it's a form of transport. There's no parking, there's whatever,
Yeah.
so it's a form of transportation, and it's primarily used in the sidewalk.
Yes.
But the city is the one who put the rules on where can they go or not
Good.
for the people, so,
Good to know.
yeah.
I don't see why not, members of the council. We should give them a chance to explore.
Yes.
Were you going to say something, Mr. Thompson?
I was going to say what Maria just nicely said out there. It's up to the city to make those ordinances. Typically, I've seen them street only, at least in my experience. They're just cool little things to run around in.
Yeah. Let's try it out. Yes.
Mr. Thompson, did they do a study, because the topography in Nogales, it's not the same as Tucson or Yuma.
Right, so
it's flat and nice.
So, Councilman Bojorquez, that would be in the works once once Bert understands that we have no reservations on their program, then that's when they would be doing their market study and geography and everything on it. So that's still coming.
So, Mr. Bojorquez, when we asked Bird the same question that you're asking, have you been to Nogales? Have you seen Nogales? Have you seen the topography? Do you understand we're a border town? We asked all those tough questions of them, and they were saying, no, Mr. Kissinger, we just grabbed the map, saw there's the city called Nogales, and we would like to see it. Going down.
Surprise, surprise.
But we won't go unless you guys want us to come down there. So that's really what it's at, where it's at.
Well, I think it's an excellent idea.
Yeah. Okay, let's call for the question on this. All right. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Was there a motion? There was no motion? Oh, there was no motion. I'm getting ahead of
Mayor.
Do I have a motion?
Make the motion to approve
Yes.
the experts to come down and do their study.
Exploratory. Okay. Is there a second? Second. All right, thank you. Now, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you very much. Thank you. See, that's why you deserve those flowers, Letty. You keep us in line. Okay, number 6, consent agenda. All right. Items A through B on resolutions. I'm placing that on consent agenda. Do I have a motion?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
I have a question.
Hurry up, because you got 3 seconds. Remember I said it's a 3-second rule.
Okay, I was looking for the resolution, but on the resolution, it says that you have until, there's a date, a cutoff date for this to be presented to the,
Which, on all 3 of them, or A or B or C?
on all 3 of them.
All 3 of them, okay.
And we designate a fiscal officer.
Yes.
So in 2019, we didn't do a submission of that?
I don't know. Ask,
Mayor.
did we do one, Mr.
There
Messer?
you go. John's got the right answer.
Do it every year.
Every year is done.
Yeah, the previous fiscal officer was Janelle.
Yeah, but we're doing it 3 at one time right now. So we didn't do them last year, right?
John? Mr. Kissinger?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. These are housekeeping items that need to be filed in form of a resolution with the Arizona State something or other. I don't know, maybe.
Auditor General.
I don't want to get the name of the guy wrong, but I want to say like the Auditor General or something like that.
Yes, Auditor General.
Yeah, we didn't do them in 19 and 20. They know we didn't do them. They're asking us to get these passed by mayor and council so we can get them signed and sent to them. And that's why we have these 3 house cleaning items in front of mayor and council. Except for the last one, you'll be appointing on time and within the time limit, Gene as your CFO. I hope that helps and helps answer that question, Mr. Borges.
Thank you.
Yes,
John.
thank you.
All right, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? You guys have it, thank you. 8, orders. Consideration possible action of order 2021-05-022, an order of the council of the city of Nogales, Arizona, authorizing the donation of a surplus sideline 2019 Dodge Charger. 2019?
Mayor, if I may, that is a typo. It is a 2010.
Yes, I remember seeing a different number.
Yes.
I said, you're giving out a new car. No. Okay, 2010 Dodge Charger police vehicle to Patagonia Union High.
So moved, Mayor.
Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. B, consideration possible action of order 2021-05-023, an order of the council of the city of Nogales authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with the planning center to provide professional services for the city's annexation plan.
Second.
Thank you very much. Discussion, Mr. Thompson.
Mayor, we do have Ms. Maria Mask, who is the rep and the hardest charger I've ever known in annexation. She's here to answer any questions or give any guidelines or anything council may have.
Well, Maria, if you want to, could you please come to the podium?
Sure.
Thank you, Maria.
Do I need to wear them?
You're good.
No, you've been vaccinated. Did you get your 2 shots already?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're good.
Thank you, Mayor and council members. So would you like to hear
Well,
like a
actually,
summary of what the
Yeah,
process will be?
Yeah, it's basically members of the council. This is a summary of what the planning group will do to submit the plans and all the information needed on pros and cons about annexation. And the only way we can know everything is by them doing that study. If we approve the contract today, they will come back to us with the maps and everything and present it to the council. And from there, we follow up and we go through the whole process. But Maria, if you want to go ahead to summary.
Sure. I'm going to be very brief in summarizing a very complex process, so if you have any questions, let me know at the end. My name is Maria Mas for the record, and I'm a principal with the Planning Center in Tucson. And I have been working with the city of Nogales since 2009 or 10,
Yes.
all right?
The first general plan.
Yes, the first general plan, the second general plan, and now the annexation. The process of annexation consists primarily of 4 steps, and that's going to be to file the petition with a map to the county record. The second step will be a 30-day waiting period. After that, then within the last 10 days of that 30-day period, there has to be a public hearing. And in that public hearing, Mayor and Council kind of discloses this is the area that we are going to annex and makes the process formalized. And then after that, there is a year to obtain the signatures of the people within the annexation area. There's 2 basic rules for the annexation to end up being an annexation. And those are, according to the Arizona statutes, the owners of at least 1/2 of the assessed value of the real property and 1/2 of all of the property owners in the annexation area need to sign for it. So, I mean, it's a little complicated, but it's owners of at least 1/2 of the assessed value need to be signing for it, and then 1/2 of all of the property owners need to be signing for it. I'm seeing a nodding from the so.
I think she said it.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I copy it from the statutes. It's kind of strange language, but that's basically what it is. Half and one, you know, 1/2. So part of the process includes an analysis of the area that is going to be annexed. And part of the analysis is going to consist of work that is going to be conducted by ESI Corporation. They do economic and model fiscal analysis in order to inform the council if that is a feasible annexation, if it's not a feasible annexation, and what would be the process and what the better area would be for it. So in terms of professional service, what we're going to be doing is actually conducting the analysis to determine whether that area is a feasible or not for annexation. And it consists of several tasks. Task number 1 is estimating all of the revenues, compiling all of the data in population, and projecting the population of the area that is recommended for or being studied for annexation, and then go to the share revenues of the city based on the share revenues of the state, and seeing what proportion per capita will be assess as the value that will be gained from that, and then also look at the infrastructure cost and the services cost and see how those two, sort of like a cost-benefit analysis, how those two kind of hold to each other. The second task will be the actual fiscal analysis, so all of the data that we get, number of household, number of housing units, population projections, types of businesses that will be more appropriate for example, we will take 3 main areas of the annexation and kind of do an in-depth analysis of those. One of those is going to be a highway, another one could be next to the airport, those kinds of things. So then depending on the type of uses and all of that, the fiscal analysis is going to respond and say this will be what the impact will be based on that information. And then the rest of it is going to be a report preparation, which should be not a big report. However, the amount of data that we get will be available to the city, and that is probably going to be a big amount of data. And then the meetings that are going to be taking place with the stakeholders and the property owners to be able to collect signatures, and also any meetings with staff department or council, mayor and council. So that's pretty much it. As I said, the fiscal model will be prepared by Judy Scalise with ESI Corporation, Real Estate and Economic Development Solutions. Judy has been appointed in 2020 to serve on the Board of Directors of Growth Partners Arizona. She has been very involved at state level with a number of fiscal analysis and annexation processes in the city of Phoenix, in Avondale, and Goodyear, and Marana, and in Oro Valley, and Tucson, Pima County, and many other areas. So she said that firm is going to be our sub-consultant for this work. So we'll do the planning portion, and they will do the fiscal analysis. That pretty much in a nutshell.
Yeah, explain the general plan in reference to annexation.
Absolutely. In 2010, the general plan, let's back up a little bit. The Arizona Revised Statutes requires every municipality to designate a growth area as part of their general plan. So way back in 2010, when the first general plan happened, the area of annexation was designated as the growth area of Nogales, and that was approved. The plan was adopted and ratified by the voters, so that is the annexation area that actually was presented again in the recent general plan and was again adopted by Mayor and Council and was ratified by the voters. So it's the same annexation area that we have all the way back, and including also the general plan also includes the annexation policy, which we are using that policy that is reflecting the statutes to go through this process as well. So that has been in place since 2010. It didn't change for the last general plan. And that is the annexation area that we're going to be looking at for annexation.
Basically, it's been voted twice by the people.
Twice, yes.
Okay.
And approved.
So,
Yes. Yeah.
So, were you going to say something, Council?
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
On the first annexation plan, we only had the corridor up to exit 12.
Mm-hmm.
And on this new one, we included the one up to the Kino Springs and up to the airport?
Yes.
Is that what
Mm-hmm.
So it's a whole different one?
It's a totally different annexation boundary.
Okay, and this is what was included in the general plan?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. Anybody else? Hearing none? You ready? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Do I have to get a roll call vote, or are we okay? Give me a roll call vote, Letty.
Yay.
Aye.
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 Aye. Thank you very much, members of the council. C, consideration possible action of order 2021-05-024, an order of the Council of the City of Nogales, Arizona, appointing Dr. Marcelino Varona Jr. to the Nogales Santa Cruz County Public Library Board.
So move.
Second.
Discussion.
Is he
Hearing none, all in favor, signify.
is he going to be on the trolley too?
Oh, Jesus, I don't know.
He's going to drive the trolley.
Hey, he's got
You know, not too long ago, I talked to him, and he said that he wasn't going to get involved in any other boards or anything that has to do with
He's
politics.
got
And look at him here. He's right on the list right
he's got
here.
a bus driver's license.
Yeah, he does, I know. Maybe he should be
drive the
driving the trolley and also helping out with it. No, it's great. That's a good move. Okay, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Guys have it. Thank you very much. D, consideration possible action of order 2021-05-025, an order of the Council of the City of Nogales, Arizona, accepting a grant from Southwest Border Rural Law Enforcement Assistance Program for vehicle, computers, and hardware.
So moved, Mayor.
Discussion. Mr. Thompson, you know anything about this?
I know a lot about this, Mayor, but I'll yield to the chief who's anxious to get on this and answer any questions
Okay.
about this.
Can you give us a little synopsis, just small, Chief?
grant is from the Bureau of Justice Assistance Program, and it's through a program called Southwest Border Rural Law Enforcement Assistance Program, and it provides rural communities with technology. And we were so lucky that we were awarded these $145,140. We're going to be utilizing them to buy approximately 20 computers and hardware to replace the aging computers that we have in our vehicles at the present time.
Great job, Chief. Thank you very much. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you. E, consideration possible action of order 2021-05-026, an order of the Council of the City of Nogales, Arizona, approving intergovernmental agreements between the City of Nogales and Santa Cruz County for animal control and library services.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
This is something we've always had.
Yes.
And
Simple as that. I should have put it on consent agenda. Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Okay. Did you raise your hand, Lisa? No?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. All right. Number 9, Mayor and Council reports on current affairs or current events. Let's start with you, Mr. Maldonado.
Basically, right now it's been Little League, and one bad news is Little League decided to cancel the regionals. They will only do the majors, which is the San Bernardino Little League regionals. All other divisions will be canceled for this year. Their decision was basically because those regionals are hosted at their properties. They can control the ins and outs and everything at their property. The West Regional for our division or our area, our region is hosted in San Bernardino, and that's what they're going to do. And this year it's going to be different because the first and second place team will go to Williamsport. There will not be no international teams coming to Williamsport. But unfortunately, that's my bad news. But we as a city still have a clarity that we have it for 3 more years once we start going again. That is guaranteed already. And besides that, we are hosting basically the 50-70 state tournament. Actually, this Saturday, I have meetings in Phoenix to determine the dates. Now that we don't have to push any hard to go to the next level, which is the regional, more likely it'll be mid-July when we host the state tournament. I estimate maybe 5-6 teams coming down for that one, and that's where basically the state will be the last part of the Little League program. We have had an abundance of kids come back to Little League, which has been very good. 3 weeks ago, I was worried that we had hardly any kids. I'm still getting calls from people trying to get in. On most divisions were capped because we did uniform orders, we did teams and all that, and because there's divisions that we were limited to getting them going because of tournaments. But I do want to ask the council that, it is great seeing the kids, and I'm going to try to extend Little League, basically, if I can go through August, September, as long as the weather behaves and we can, that you guys permit me to continue to use the fields for as long as the kids are willing to participate. So that's one thing I'll bring it to the council to get that support and keep the kids out in the field. That's all, basically I have.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Borges.
Mr. Mayor, I don't have any report, but I do want to make a comment. I know that Vice Mayor Melendez Lopez invited us to the Cinco de Mayo event that they had, and I heard it was very successful and it was real good. But, lately, the city has been having events and we don't know about them. Before, we used to get invitations and memos if you wanted to attend. And lately, if it wasn't for social media, I wouldn't be aware of them. But just for the sake of courtesy, if they can, give us a heads up, we're going to have an event here like the one we had for the officers of Cordova. I wish I could have, if I would have known, I would have attended. And I know because of the pandemic, the inside events are kind of restricted right now. But, if it's an outside event, I would sure like to be invited to them, Okay, so I can, see what's going on with the city.
I got invited to the Officer Cordova event 2 days before the event from the PD.
Yeah. And
Okay,
before we used to get.
Well, yeah, but see, the whoever's doing the event should be the one should be sending either a memo through the city manager's office to members of the council. And I was told that they were going to build the podium over there to put the plaque up, and it was such a fast. It was so fast. There was
that's just one example.
There was no ceremony. Brief words from the chief only, and that was it. And the reef, but that was it. And you have to understand this COVID thing has made different people think differently when it comes to that. But everything that I've gotten, events that I was contacted and invited by the group or something like that. Like for instance, on the Fiestas de Mayo, a call from the Trucas to participate in that. And matter of fact, I've never done that before, and it's the first time I've done a caravan. So
Okay,
is that all?
That's all I have.
Yes, Councilman Bonilla.
I asked for a ditch to be fixed in the front area, and I congratulate the worker that took the time to get that weed eater in there and clean it out, because a lot of people in Monte Carlo are real happy that finally it was taken care of. It was done pretty fast. It was done in 2 days, I think.
Thank you. And we're going to get a report probably from the city manager in reference to that, which is hopefully positive news in reference to all that. Vice Mayor.
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you to all the city members. Thank you, Mr. Thompson, for the Fiestas de Mayo Caravan event. It was great. At the beginning, we thought it was going to be a small event. Then they told me it was going to be 30 trucks and then 30 bicycles. So at the end, it went from a small event to a big event. Thank you, Mayor, for participating.
Yes.
It was great.
You're welcome.
People was very happy about it. And then they invited me to the reopening of the Museo de Arte at the Nogales, Sonora, and I attended there also on behalf of the council.
Councilman Diaz.
I also attended the May 5th celebration on Saturday along with yourself and Councilwoman, Vice Mayor, I should say. And we had a great time. The caravan was really nice. It just got us out and went all over the place. And then the Karen Park event there with all the food carts and everything, that was a big success, and it was a lot of fun. But I guess the DJ didn't show up.
Yeah.
So, but there was a lot of people. The vendors did very well. The nonprofits did very well there, selling their food and everything, and it was very nice. And then afterwards, we went up to the BFW to watch the fight and finish off the night. So that was very nice. And then at the BFW, we're going to have our Memorial Day services. We're going to be putting up the flags 8 o'clock Sunday, May the 30th. We'll be decorating the grave sites of the veterans, of the fallen comrades up there. And then we're going to go have menudo at the BFW. If any of you people want to go, you're more than welcome. And we're going to have our Memorial Day services at the cemetery for the public, but it will be very brief. There will not be any chairs. There will not be any tents. It won't be like past years. It starts at 10. We're going to make it as brief as possible, and there will not be any ceremony at the BFW. No refreshments, no food, nothing at the BFW. BFW will be open to those that would like to go, but it's not going to be a city-sponsored event or anything like that. So it's going to be downsized because of the COVID, and hopefully next year we could do something really big. Also, at the BFW, we made history. Nogales made history. On the 28th of April, we had our meeting and we had our election, and I'm proud to announce that Nogales and Post 2066 BFW has their first female commander who will be taking the reins over after a state conference, which will be June 20th. So we will, that's history here for Nogales. So
Who's that?
We're having a female commander, and we're all going to support her and continued success for the BFW. In November, we're bringing back the Parker Project. It's going to be the 16th, 17th, where they are doing the vaccinations and the neutering of pets. So I'll keep you guys informed, but that's coming up in November. So we've been pretty busy, and we've been opening up and trying to get everything back to normal as best we can. So that's all I got. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes.
You can't leave us hanging on who she is.
Yeah, I asked, who is she? Yeah.
It's Gracie Mariscal, but she's a probation officer.
Yeah, great.
She's a Desert Storm veteran, so
Good, great.
she'll be taking over as commander.
Madam, good
job. Madam Commander. Good job, Gracie. Congratulate her for me. Yeah, great. So this week is National Police Week, and I just want to recognize all the police out there, and thank you, Mr. Chief Roy Bermudez, for your hard work.
Thank you, Warren.
Yeah, so that's all.
That it?
Yep.
Okay. On April the 1st, attended Segal Joint Committee meeting. On the same date, Walter Cronkite School of Journalism interviewed regarding technology at the border. On the same date, another one from the Walter Cronkite interview regarding drug enforcement at the border. April the 6th, another one, Cronkite interview regarding COVID response in border cities. April the 7th, the Varney Show interview regarding migrants at the border. Then April the 9th, a White House immigration briefing conference call. April 14th, Arizona Port of Entry projects briefing meeting. April the 16th, Arizona PBS interview regarding COVID effects on border businesses. Same date, received the Lighted Blue Award on behalf of the city from the Autism Group. Same date, meeting with ADOT Enforcement Director Tim Lane. April the 20th, KOLD 13 News regarding Ducey's order to deploy troops to the border. April 22nd, interview with Iram Machi regarding Ducey's declaration of emergency at the border. April 25th, Earth Day celebration on Monte Carlo trails. April 26th, KVOA interview regarding extension of travel restrictions at the border. April 27th, the Jesus Cordova Memorial Ceremony. April 27th, interview regarding civic engagement and political participation with Lydia Terrazas from the Nogales International. Same date, interview with Lawrence Corey, a freelance journalist regarding immigration and other border issues. April 30th, Nogales Head Start parent Zoom meeting. And the same date, a CBP meeting regarding migrants. It was a slow month for me. And from there, do we have anything from the city manager?
Mayor, if I may take a couple of
Yes.
minutes from council?
Go ahead.
First and foremost, very saddened to say that May 27th, Marcel Bachelier, our director from Parks and Recs, will be retiring. You know, kudos to him. He's got a lot of things lined up from that point on. However, it's saddening for us because I have absolutely nothing bad to say about Marcel. In the years I worked with him, organizing a ton of events, to say the least. He's always there. Every so often I'll send an email on the weekend and he responds. So there's a lot of dedication from Marcel. Whoever we choose to fill in those shoes, they're big shoes they're going to have to fill. So with that, Marcel, on behalf of my office, muchas gracias. Thank you for everything you've done.
Great job, Marcel.
Thank you, Marcel.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marcel.
He's probably, yeah, he's up there. He's watching. The next, I have a little quick update, Mayor, if I may. This is just geared towards paving, road resurfacing, maintenance, what have you, related to, the asphalt or roads. 2020, 2021, at least in my opinion, has been a very eventful year for road maintenance as pertains to the city of Nogales. Currently, we have finished 239,818 square feet of pavement, brand new asphalt, at a tune of $1.6 million. I know sometimes this isn't broadcast or put out there for the people to know unless you happen to live in that neighborhood or around that road, and you're very grateful for all that. Putting that out there. As of right now, we're a good 50 to 60% done with an astonishing amount of road maintenance. 2.2 million square feet of road surfaces that we are currently repairing through contractor work, and I think we've all seen them throughout town. Western, Vista del Cielo, a whole bunch of really big streets. That comes at a tune at $2.5 million. So far, we've invested close to $4 million in road maintenance that we can actually physically go out and see. We have programmed a whole bunch more that may or may not be finished by the end of this fiscal year. However, they're scheduled to be addressed as soon as we can. Also, at 634,000 square feet of asphalt at about $2.5 million. Total investment in road resurfacing, pavement, maintenance, or what have you, projected for 2020, 2021, $6.9 million. I understand that we may have little hiccups here and there, potholes we need to address, repairs that we need to address because of failing utilities and stuff like that. However, the point I'm trying to make is we're rocking and rolling. Perhaps we don't showcase this as much as what we would want to, maybe call us humble or what have you, but we're moving. So that's the showcase I have for our streets department. They're doing an incredible job with the amount of people they have. I understand, again, we do have a couple deficiencies out there, and we have a plan that we're working on to be able to address those deficiencies. So stay tuned for those. But again, $6.9 million. It's not a drop in the bucket.
No, it's not.
Not a drop in the bucket.
Yeah. This morning, and I called you very early. I started my day not very, I was drinking my coffee, eating my turnover, relaxing, when I got a call from a friend, and that's a friend that in his Facebook, they were trashing the city, and yours truly, like they always do. But so happens that after I called you, and I called Mr. Kissinger, I found out that those repairs are going to be done tomorrow morning.
Exactly.
Okay? So somebody decided to jump at it, But it doesn't, I'm a big boy. I take those things. But the thing is that sometimes you need to wait and see what's happening. And I understand what's happening with the crews at Public Works. They're having problems with trucks transporting asphalt from Tucson to Nogales. That's why the job in Valle Verde was halted for 3 weeks because of that, Mr. Thompson. You know, it's kind of hard, and people, you know, it's hard to people see it and go, you know, well, what happened? They're not there. They're not doing their work. So they break away, start doing other work. Now we have our guys, for what I understand that Mr. Thompson said this morning, Mr. Kissinger, our guys are going to be going to Tucson and one of our dump trucks to bring hot asphalt for those repairs that I got trashed on this morning in Facebook. Okay? No le hace. It wasn't my page that I was trashed, it's somebody else's page. But my friend called me and said, hey, you know, you're drinking coffee, you're sitting down, and said, estoy curado de espantos. But this is what happens, and I know, Mr. Bonilla, I know how you feel because you get called a lot on this, and you address that problem, and you've spoken to me about that, and I know Mr. Bojorquez has gotten those same calls. But, you know, that it's hard to explain sometimes. It's hard to explain what's happening. It's not that the crews are not doing their work. Is that their hands are tied because of something. There's no asphalt company here. There's no asphalt company in Rio Rico. It comes from Tucson. And we apply cold asphalt, that's a temporary fix. We apply, you know, millings, that's a temporary fix. But now, you know, we're going to have to go to Tucson because nobody can bring asphalt to us. So that's going to be another hiccup, like you like to say, Mr. Thompson, you know, having our crews go all the way over there to bring hot asphalt and rush it to Nogales to be able to repair. And what they're going to do is they're going to repair 4 or 5 of these big areas because you don't want to go all the way to Tucson with a dump truck and just bring a shovel full. Okay, so just so I wanted to express that. So in case somebody's seeing on YouTube, they understand that that's what's happening right now. The crews are trying to do the best they can. And I know Mr. Bonilla was probably going to say something, but I beat him to the punch because I didn't want him to say. I didn't want Mr. Bonilla to say it because I don't think he's going to say it in a nicer way than I did. But Mr. Bonilla, they're going to work on everything, you know, and be patient. Be patient. Thank you, Mr. Thompson. Is there anything else, Mr. Thompson?
Mayor, for trying to get out of here before 7:30, I would keep quiet.
Okay, you're okay? Yes, go ahead.
Mr. Thompson, I know I just met the finance director a little while before the meeting. I don't know if she's been introduced to the rest of the council.
So I do apologize. We brought her in on purpose, and I completely forgot, even though she's right here next to me. So, Mayor, members on the council, audience, public, everybody tuning in, our new finance director, Jean Moman. If she wants to take a couple minutes to introduce herself, or I can do it for you.
I'm Jean Molman. I'm on my 3rd week here. It's very exciting to be part of the city of Nogales. I've lived here for 25 years. My husband has been a teacher in the district here in Nogales for 25 years. That's the reason we came. We were staying for 2 years. Now we're here 25. And yes, from the first meeting where I was introduced, I do live around the corner. So I'm very close to City Hall. So I got my degree back in Iowa Wesleyan back in '96, moved down here, and I've done lots of different things, all within accounting and finance, in lots of different places within the county. The last 13 years have been up in Green Valley, working in finance and insurance. And we bought a house down here last year, and I said, it's time to work where I live.
See, that's the way a city manager should think. Somebody that shows up in Nogales says, you know what, I'm buying a house.
And I did. And the past 3 weeks have been wonderful here. I've already learned a lot. The finance department is wonderful to work with. They're always, how are you doing? How about this? Do you understand this? So it's a great group that I work with. And having Robert and John there all the time, I'm texting them, can I move this wall? Can I move this? And they've let me. So if you haven't been into the finance side, please come in and see. We have moved all of our finance together, and it's more open now. So we have more of a flow, and it seems to be working better.
Good. They don't let us go in there.
Well, I'm inviting you to come.
Okay. They didn't even give us the combination for the door.
Well, you can come in, Mayor, and see what we've
I'm
done.
joking. We all can go in there, you know. All right. Is there anybody?
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome.
You're
again.
welcome.
Is there anything else? Future agenda items, guys? Anybody?
I have,
Yes, go ahead.
go ahead.
Yeah, I want an update on the Frank Reed Road. I remember that Mr. Juan Guerra said he was gonna keep us abreast of what's going on with that project. And also on the old Tucson Road, you know, I know we haven't done anything there, but I'd like to know what's going on.
Did you get that, Mr. Thompson?
Yes, sir.
All right. Ms. Montiel?
Yeah,
You have something?
okay. Yeah, I have a couple of things. I propose to write a proclamation to support the reopening of the land border to non-essential travel. I think it's
Okay.
time, it's important. Our businesses are suffering, have been, and people are getting vaccinated every day. Numbers of COVID-19 are decreasing, and yet the vaccinations are increasing, and I think there's more vaccination than there are arms, from what I understand. So I support a proclamation. Hopefully we can get that together. And also a timeline for budget sessions. I know you mentioned a couple of months ago that we would start discussing the budget. So it would be nice to have a schedule.
Mr. Thompson, you're still not there on the budget hearings?
Right, so Pat couldn't be with us tonight. She had a conflict somewhere else. However, we are anticipating, hopefully, I don't want to put my foot in my mouth. I want to say next week, but I'm still on the gray with that. So the week after looks a lot better. Once I have conversation with Pat and see where we're at, we should be able to move forward with that. But I think next week is a little bit too early still.
Well, we're meeting tomorrow.
Okay.
So once we know tomorrow morning from Pat, then we'll have a schedule set for
Have an
everything
idea
else.
on that? Okay, great. All right.
So, yeah, perhaps next week, hopefully.
Yeah, so we can get, if
Okay.
you do get some information, maybe you can advise all of us
Yes.
what date it would be for the budget hearings on that.
Yeah.
And Mrs. Montiel, just for your information, members of the council, I've written a letter to Governor Ducey, to Grijalva, Councilman, to Senator Sinema, Senator Kelly, and to the Vice President, all right,
Yeah.
about the port being open, that we need it open, and not talking about border security, talking about the economy of the city of Nogales. And I don't know how many times I've called, and I have proof of those letters there that I've written. And what you want is not a proclamation, it's a resolution.
Okay.
That's what we need to do, okay?
Okay, and I
Proclamation
have
is
one
a whole
more.
different story,
Yeah. Okay, resolution.
a resolution.
Thank you for correcting me. The other thing I would propose is that we reconsider funding the Port Authority and the Chamber of Commerce. I think it's important to start and to continue collaboration with the stakeholders here in Nogales. And I don't know what happened in the past, but I know that it's important to reconnect and start collaborating effectively so we can start working on economic development.
That'll be done during the budget process and the hearings.
Okay, thank you.
Whatever we do with that, we have to first get numbers, real numbers, before we do it. Okay, is there anything else? Future agenda, go ahead.
Just, I want to put the agenda, like I said earlier, on being able to continue using the fields, Mayor, for the kids. And, you know, basically, normally we stop in the end of July, but maybe continuing through August and September. I know reseeding and all that, Parks and Rec does that, and whenever they tell me, yeah, we
Well, we'll get
understand.
the information from Parks and Rec, see where we're at, and then we'll place it on the agenda.
Okay?
All right. Anything else? Nada. I move to adjourn.
Second?
Second.
Meeting is adjourned.